Welcome back to the Pressbox Mason Nation. I'm Jacob Moore.
And I'm Nathan LaPierre.
Today we're going to talk to you about the World Series just wrapped up on Sunday. The Royals took it from the Mets after coming back a year later after taking a loss from the Giants. They came back and won.
Yeah, 5-game series. And as you mentioned, they came back from last year. I think that helped a lot. Getting to the World Series the first time, having that playoff experience, facing a team like the Mets that hasn't been to the World Series in a long time, I think that made a big difference.
Definitely. This year for the Royals was just all about getting back to the World Series. Last year they were a great team and they surprised everyone, but this year not many people expected them to go back, but the Royals as a team, they came back better. Their goal was to get back to the World Series, but to win it this time, and they did. Everything from the front office down to the players went perfectly, and they achieved the ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think one of the big differences for the Royals this year was their ability to come back in games. I think that's also tied to their past experience, but I actually saw a statistic before the last game of the series, so through 4 games, that the Mets had led about double the amount of innings that the Royals had led, but the Royals were just able to close out games, and that's what matters. They were winning after 9 innings, and that's, even though they're losing most of the series, they won in 5 games. It makes it look like it wasn't even close.
Exactly. That's the thing with baseball. They always say that it's never over until that final pitch, that final out, but the Royals truly demonstrated it, and a lot of times it's said, but it's not always carried out. And the Royals, they took that last game by coming back and winning, and it basically summed up their whole season because they didn't just do that in the playoffs; they did it the entire year. And a major piece in the Royals winning was Salvador Perez. He is the anchor of that team. And in general, it's just hard to single out particular players on the Royals because they're all just made up and they gel so much together that they're just a great team, and that's why they won. But Salvador Perez is such a leader on that team. The commentators could not stop talking about how many pitches he took and how many foul tips to the hand and to the chest, and he was just getting beat up the entire series, and he still hit. He still had a high batting average, and that's why he got the MVP.
Yeah, I think he epitomizes this Royals sort of doing the little things, all of the little base running techniques, taking a lot of pitches, having great relievers, which a lot of people don't realize is so important in the playoffs, because when you have guys like Kelvin Herrera, Ryan Madsen, Wade Davis that can just shut teams down in innings 7, 8, and 9, that's a big asset. And Salvador Perez epitomizes doing the little things.
That's just what makes the Royals so good is a lot of teams have that one star, that one or two big names, but the Royals, they have a lot of great players, and it's not just one name that sticks out, and that's probably the biggest reason why they won, and they've made it back to where they were from last year back to the World Series, was because it was just this, no matter what, the players had each other's back, and it wasn't just one team, it wasn't just one guy carrying the whole team, rather it was the entire team carrying itself, so that's what made them so good. On the other hand, the Mets, They were really unexpected also. They came into this year, figured as just like the Cubs, they had a couple years ahead of them before everything got together. They weren't even expected to win the division, but they ended up making it all the way through
They did.
But they did. They ended up making it all the way to the World Series, and Daniel Murphy carried them. Daniel Murphy carried them through to the World Series.
He did, yeah. We just mentioned that the Royals kind of are built as a team. The Mets, you certainly have a few standout players.
Exactly,
you have DeGrom, you have Harvey, and you have Daniel Murphy, at least in the playoffs.
Yes.
And so that carried them that far. But I think a combination of their inexperience and not having the total team effort that the Royals had.
I definitely think the better team won in this World Series because besides Daniel Murphy in the NLCS, the Mets as a team hit 222, and if it wasn't for Daniel Murphy hitting 6 home runs in 6 straight games, going back to the division series, I don't know what would have happened, but he definitely carried that team into the World Series, and then they kind of just fell off. The Royals just always came back.
Yeah, I know the Murphy family is watching this, so I just want you just to say, Daniel, keep your head up. You're gonna earn that big money for what you did this year, and good run by the Mets. Take it. We'll see you next year. Except the Nationals are gonna win the division, so sorry about that. But anyways,
Harvey,
I think that,
please do not get. I mean, Harvey, you'll probably throw your arm out one of these days, but please don't. We love you.
Yeah, please don't. Unless playing the Nationals.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for tuning in today, George Mason University. I'm Nathan LaPierre.
I'm Jacob Moore.
Press on. Press on.